Greetings, dear friends. In previous episodes, we fenced off our plot. We fenced one part of the plot with farm mesh, and the front part of the plot was fenced with unedged boards. It turned out very nice and beautiful. You can watch these videos on our channel. After we enclosed the area, we drove out all the animals that were grazing on our land, and now we can calmly start building. In this video, we will build a house for our animals from start to finish. Looking ahead, I can say that the building turned out to be quite beautiful and it immediately catches the eye from afar. But I won't praise it for too long, let's get started. Let's go. We marked out a special spot and installed the first post for our future building. Our building will be 10 meters long, so we immediately place a post on the other side, that is 10 meters from the first post. After installing the second post and tamping it down well, we immediately stretched a rope so that we could use it to set the next post, which will be placed every 2 meters, then with a simple hand movement. But of course I use an auger to make holes for our future posts. The auger makes the work much faster. I'm glad to have it. It also helped me install the posts for our fence around the plot, and in this case it's helping us a lot too. After setting 6 posts in a straight line along the string, we secured them well and started installing the next line, also burying the posts every 2 meters. Let's move on. We put up a thicker post because the height there will be greater since our building will have a single pitched roof. All the posts are installed. Now we'll have to work at a height where our hands can't reach. For this, we quickly made something like a scaffold out of whatever we had on hand, so we can safely stand on it and reach all the places we need. We attached braces all around the perimeter of the scaffold, secured them well, and now our scaffold is ready for the upcoming work. I didn't show the process of how we used the water level to make markings so that our building would be straight. I'm showing you the process of cutting the posts to level. The ground here is sloped, with a difference in elevation of about 20-10 inches. After cutting all the posts to level and making a perfectly horizontal line, we start preparing our future rafters. Alexei is cutting out the notches, and then we install the rafters onto our posts. The width of the building is 3 meters, the slope we got is 3 meters 1 foot, and we continue installing our rafters. One by one we cut out the notches and installed the rafters. Also, for the horizontal level, we picked the straightest logs we could find and the process got underway. I'm also fastening this with nails. I'm using 120s so that the wind doesn't blow our rafters away. We'll have a logical question. Why aren't the posts debarked? Why aren't they treated with anything? Those who have been watching us for a long time know that our move is very urgent and the buildings have to be finished on time. Since we have to move out of our current place, take the animals as soon as possible, and we need somewhere to settle them. We also have some extra land for the future where we plan to move our animals. This building is meant to last 3 years before being dismantled. The one that remains will be moved and will also be used in the construction of the new building in the future. But since we always do everything with taste, the building turned out so magnificent that of course it will be very sad to dismantle it. Then we gained a lot of experience in cladding the fence in this way, and we decided that our shed would also be clad as well. We'll do everything in the same style, it'll be great. Beautiful, all of it will look great together. And if you keep watching the video, you'll see how we sand all of this, paint it, and you'll see what this structure turns into. In this case, you can't call yourself for help when you're alone. Carrying 6-meter boards and installing them in place is quite problematic, so you definitely can't do this without a helper. We covered the back part pretty quickly and now we're starting to cover the sides of the building. We cut all the boards to size in such a way that we didn't have any waste. We keep working, overlapping everything, and the building is already starting to take shape and get its walls. Thanks to the sawhorse, of course, we can climb much higher where our hands can't reach. Next, we sheathe the next wall in the same way. We've covered 3 walls, we'll cover the outer wall later, after we install the floors. I'm throwing the same boards up top, they'll be used. We've finished part of the lathing and we've run out of boards. Then I immediately ordered 5 more cubic meters of boards. In this batch, the boards are for the floor, for paneling, for the walls, for the future dog enclosure, for the feeder, and so on. The second batch of boards has arrived, so we can resume work on the roof. We also threw some boards on top of the building. This time, the boards we received are already trimmed. Before this, we used untrimmed boards. Now we have trimmed boards, which turned out to be a bit cheaper than the untrimmed ones. We bought them for 7,500 rubles per cubic meter. Trimmed boards cost us 7,000 rubles per cubic meter, but this board has some slight bluish stains, so they sold it to us for a lower price. However, this did not impact construction at all. Later, I treated the board with bleach. It soaked in, then we painted it, sanded it, and the bluish stains were no longer visible. With a simple movement, we spread all these boards over our rafters. I secured each board with 2 screws into each rafter. We made overhangs of 40 centimeters at the ends of the building, leveled everything out, and started laying our roofing felt. We lay the roofing felt with an overlap of about 15 centimeters. Our installation process does not follow the standard technology. We should have rolled it out along the entire length of the roof and started from the bottom, gradually moving up, but we laid it the old village way with an overlap. We covered it with leftover boards from cladding our building. We also pressed it down tightly with self-tapping screws. In theory, the roofing felt should stick together in the sun, because it has a special tarred side. When heated, it starts to melt and stick to the other part of the roofing felt. After rolling out all the roofing felt and securing it with a board. As luck would have it, it started raining right after we finished the last roofing sheet, testing its strength. No leaks were found on the roof. Even though we pierced it with a self-tapping screw in some places, I still didn't see any leaks. Next, after we covered the roof, we started working on the floors. Lesha suggested taking his power tiller and using the cultivator. The soil under the shed. Because leveling all this with a shovel takes a very long time, and there are big bumps there, and digging it up by hand would take a lot of time. So we changed the wheels to tillers and started leveling everything with the power tiller. The cultivator quickly dug up all the grass, cut all the roots, and the soil became quite fluffy, which made it much easier to work with. And I took a shovel and leveled the remaining holes and bumps with it. Next, we also laid the logs for our future floors, leveled them horizontally with a level, and placed a 150 by 50 board on top. During the time we've been keeping animals, we've realized that keeping them without floors just doesn't work. It's a great convenience for both the animals and for us, but that's already, I think, a separate story. Because our building is 10 meters long, we used 6-meter boards and we had to add extra pieces. After laying the boards on the logs, we start fastening them with 120 nails, adding another 4 meters of boards as an extension. Now we can start separating our future horse stalls from our future feed room, where we will store feed and other things. We made a wall out of regular boards, 25 by 150. The main thing is to ensure the animals have no contact with or access to this room. We quickly laid the boards, secured them, and I made a facing board to hide the ugly, uneven edges. Next, as promised, after finishing the roof and floors, we can begin the exterior cladding. For this we secured it, sanded it, and painted it. We were glad that we chose this particular board, because the appearance of the building turned out just wonderful. After that, we attached the boards in a herringbone pattern, overlapping each by 1.5 to 2 centimeters. That will be enough. Even if the board dries out a lot, there shouldn't be any gaps or cracks. Once the shed is fully covered, we make the doors ourselves using 25 by 150 boards. I don't have any problems with doors anymore. I've made a lot of them during my time living in the village, so it's very easy for me now. First, we made the door for the feed room. I bought the same strong black hinges for all the doors. We assembled this quick door, put on the hinges, and easily hung the door on our future feed room. The door opens and closes perfectly. Next, we're making doors for our animals. For the animals, we'll make double doors, meaning there will be an upper panel and a lower panel. We also cut the boards to size. Ours are 150 and 4 cm, so there's some extra. We just calmly cut off the unnecessary piece with a chainsaw so it's flush. After installing the doors, I walk over with a satisfied look to show our accomplishment. The first door leads to the stern ceramic, red with your small pool. The camera follows and works well. The room is 2 by 3 meters. For now, this will be enough for us to store feed and other items. Here, as I mentioned, we installed double doors. First, the top door opens so that the animal isn't completely locked in an enclosed space. That's after work or after some other processes, in general training and other activities with the animal. We close it only with the bottom door, and the horse can calmly stick its head out and look around. In general, it won't be bored. Plus, it also looks pretty nice. Since we have 2 horses, we made 2 stalls. Accordingly, we have 2 openings. The second opening is the same, also consists of 2 doors, but we had to spend a bit more on the hinges. That's how it turned out. After making the outer wall and doors, we're now starting to work on our floors. For this, I'll be using Zelly with Evrobilu A4. I've already talked about it in more detail on our live channel Sasha Lera. This is a concentrate for aggressive conditions. It penetrates wood very well and doesn't wash out. I dilute it 1:9 and we're going to soak everything thoroughly with it. I'll be applying the product in 3 stages. I poured 0.5 into the bottle and diluted it with 4 liters of water. The mixture turned out this color and it's very visible on the wood. I'm pouring it into the sprayer and starting to soak everything this way. It's better to soak the boards in this concentrate. That way the board will definitely be saturated from all sides and will be better protected. I applied 1 layer, waited about 20 minutes and then started applying the second layer. Since I bought cheap boards with blue stains in some places, as I promised, I'm starting to bleach them. For this I will use Zealous Bleach C2. I also talked about it in more detail on our live channel Sasha Lera. The bleach quickly restores the appearance of darkened wood. It doesn't release any toxic compounds. It's effective against mold and colored fungi. It's also useful for treating food and transport containers. I also pour this bleach into a sprayer and start treating the blue stains on our exterior cladding. I also use the sprayer to go over all the boards, including the boards on our doors. You can see how it gets absorbed into the board right away. The board becomes a little darker. I apply it to the darkest areas, to those black spots, and also to the faded ones. How will it perform on a board like this? 2 hours have passed and now we're seeing the result. As you remember, this board was completely black. Look, the bleach cleaned it to a white color. The doors were also covered with a bluish tint, and now you can't see any blue on the doors anymore. I think it did an excellent job. Since we didn't have electricity at the moment, I had to use a battery-powered grinder, and I wasn't going to grind it down to complete cleanliness. I'm using a rough 40 grit disc for this. I wasn't planning to make the boards very smooth, just to remove the roughness and get rid of the fuzz on the board, and a sanded board looks much nicer. I think this disc did a great job. You don't need to keep buying sandpaper because you would spend quite a lot of money on all of that. I'm also moving on to the next wall, sanding each board and also sanding the doors. After sanding our future animal house, we move on to painting. For this, we will use a potion with Hydrodecor D1. We chose the color walnut. If you watched the previous video, you saw how we picked different color palettes. We settled on walnut. This color pleasantly surprised us. I opened the bucket and now need to mix everything thoroughly. It prevents the wood from fading due to sunlight. It provides strong protection against wood insects, and the wax content enhances its water repellent properties. The presence of natural oils helps it penetrate deeply, and it doesn't prevent the wood from breathing naturally. That's why this is exactly what we need for our stable. The potion with Hydrodecor D1 is perfect for us. Taking a brush in hand, we start painting everything. We'll paint in 2 coats. Between the coats, you only need to wait 50 minutes and then you can start applying the second coat. And in this task, Alexei is helping me. He also took a brush and together we're handling this job pretty quickly. After finishing the first coat of walnut, we take the next color. This is amber spruce. You also need to mix it all thoroughly. We'll be painting our doors on both sides with this color. I think we've chosen a wonderful color. The doors will have this yellowish amber shade, while the building itself will be darker. After we coat everything twice, the color will be richer and brighter. Well, you'll see it all for yourself. Even after just one coat, our building is already starting to look quite beautiful. After waiting about 50 minutes, we start applying the second coat. So dear friends, what do you think of this work of art? I also wanted to let you know that I'll leave a link to Zelest Hydrodecor D1 in the description. There will also be links to other Zelest products that I used in this video. So go ahead, be sure to check them out and place your orders. Our horses have already moved into this stable, their new home. I think they've settled in well and are feeling good. We also painted the feeder to match the color of our stable. I think it took us a little less than a month to do everything, because I came here twice a week. Sometimes we only worked on it once a week because we just didn't have enough time. We had to take care of other things, but we managed to build it. It's a nice little shed, easy on the eyes. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe if you want. Well, I'll say goodbye for now. See you later.